Hello, Katarina. It's so great to see you today.
Hi, Carlyn. It's a pleasure to us to be with you.
I'm super excited to find out more about your business and how you're helping your clients. So let's go ahead and just get started. Just briefly tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so for the past 20 years, I've worked as an entrepreneurial blueprint consultant, and that sounds, quite wordy, but it's exactly what I do. So somebody from the corporate world, if you're looking for your entrepreneurial identity and you want to be certain and you want to find your purpose and you want to be clear about your strategy, we do that in one day. And it's also transformational. So that's what we do.
That's
And
amazing. How did you
yeah,
discover this technique for your entrepreneurial blueprint consultation?
well, good question. Um, it's actually based on neuroscience. It's based on the right brain and the left brain and the reptilian brain. If we just listen to our inner saboteur, which operates from the left brain and the reptilian brain, then we just play small and safe. But if we operate more from the right brain, we're much more open to ideas. So in the entrepreneurial blueprint consultation, it opens you up to your possibilities.
So, when it opens you up to your possibilities, tell me a little bit about how you contribute to your clients' lives in a way that's just different from everybody else.
Well, first of all, some of my clients, for example, in California, came to me. One particular man came to me and said, "Listen, I've been looking for my purpose for 50 years. And how come you can do it in like 5 hours?" And it's because I've put it all together. I've found my truth, my greatness, my purpose, my vision. And so now it's easy to find my clients. It's built step by step. You build it on my client's identity. Then you find their inner saboteur strategy, turn it around, and then it's fairly clear to find their purpose. But first of all, they need to know who they are and what they're up to.
That's incredible. And the fact that you can do it in 5 hours is absolutely amazing. I'm
Yeah.
guessing changing people's lives, and I don't want to jump to the next question I have for you, but I do, which is why do you love doing what you do? And I could guess, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Well, it's my purpose. I mean, I was a teacher and I loved the contact with the students, and with difficult students, it went very, very well. Of course, with easy students, anybody can teach easy students, who are really academic and want to learn. But it still didn't fulfill me. And so I became a psychotherapist, and I wanted to know more about human nature, myself, why people were the way they were. And I was one of the top two psychotherapists in Stockholm, and had my own therapy center in Helsingborg in Sweden. But that didn't fulfill me. So when I found my values, which are truth, greatness, and vision, everything came together. That I had to find my truth, my greatness, and my vision. And that was really exciting for me. And this is 20 years later. It's still exciting, except now I'm focused more on my clients' truth, their greatness, their vision. And I just love the whole, how we start off with their skepticism, maybe, and then they find their identity and they get more and more excited as we go step by step towards their vision. So that's why I love to do what I do.
That's fabulous. And do you have some of, all the clients you've worked with and just over the years and all your experiences, and the fact that you can still step in and you do this with such a variety of different humans. I'm sure you come in contact with such a different variety of humans, which is also so exciting for you because it's always different and unique, and you're literally changing people's lives by getting through these barriers. What is one of your clients' greatest stories? If you can just really briefly share with us a success story, that would make it great for the audience to hear.
Okay, thank you. I think one of the best stories is something that was a real surprise to me. I was living in California at the time. I now live in Stockholm. And I went to a church and I did a 5-hour training for like several people. And it's much more difficult in a group because you really, really have to focus on the mindset of the person. And there was this one man who emailed me, I think 12 years later. And he said, you know, that little course you did in our church? I'm now a millionaire. In fact, almost a multi-millionaire because of those 5 hours with you. And I just want to thank you for that. So.
Wow. And the fact that he took the information and then communicated with you 12 years later. That's impressive. And that has to warm your heart. I mean, you've made a huge difference in this person's life. So that's great. Katarina, before we sign off with you on the blueprint portion of this, how can people contact you?
Destiny International 11@gmail.com and destinyinternational11.com. We can write it underneath the video when we publish it. Those are the best ways to contact me. And on LinkedIn, I'm Katarina Hanssens Carlsson.
Great. And we're going to put all of that in the information with the video for everybody to access easily. So what Katarina and I, Carlyn Bushman from Carlyn Bushman Consulting, have developed is Katarina is excellent in really honing in on getting through the barriers to figure out what the next step is after corporate and what does that look like and how is that impactful in taking her blueprint and putting that into place with all of her clients. As I step into the relationship and work with Katarina, what I'm able to do is take that blueprint and begin the execution, because the blueprint's great and it's so needed in a first step. You can't execute on what you don't already understand to be your true purpose. And then you need somebody to help you really execute it. And that's where I like to step in with my clients and work through the execution phase. Some could call that operations. And I work with my clients in aspects of management, financial, marketing, and technology, and really layering in those pieces so that you can step into what Katarina put together in the entrepreneurial blueprint. So with that in mind, I'd like to discuss a little bit more about how that actually works.
All right. So the advantage is that if you're in the corporate world, I would suggest, and I'm sure, Carlyn, you agree with me, that don't leave the corporate world until you know who you are as an entrepreneur and you've implemented your strategy with Carlyn. She is brilliant at that. I am not brilliant at that. I'm brilliant at what I do, the actual blueprint, and Carlyn is brilliant in implementation. And we are perfect partners for you in that. So we would suggest perhaps, I don't know if you agree, Carlyn, that it may take 6 months, it may take a year, it may take 2 years for you to have the equivalent of the salary that you're getting now, or at least a workable income.
Right. And yes, I do. And I'm so glad you brought that up. The real key to the implementation and the execution of your new business that Katarina has really helped you define through her process is really 3 steps. First, you get your business grounded and you really ground what it is you're going to do, where you're going to take it, who's your audience, and things of that nature. Then the second step is, of course, setting goals. And together we set goals that are stretch but attainable. So you must have a plan behind your business in order to really facilitate the growth of your business. So then, of course, the third step is the growth. And you'll continue to rinse and repeat this. You'll get your business grounded in each aspect, you'll set the goals, and then you'll grow. And we continuously do that throughout a month, a quarter, the year, and you give yourself some time to do it. But it is such a good feeling to be able to have your business grounded for that growth opportunity, and you don't feel like you have to do everything all at once. And to Katarina's point, you're absolutely right. Give yourself some space and time to really get this done without putting so much pressure on yourself financially by leaving your corporate position.
Absolutely, Carlyn. So may I ask you a few questions about your work and how you enjoy it and what you do for people? Is that okay?
Certainly. And we can keep it very brief, Katarina. I know everybody who's watching this today has limited time.
Okay. So, Carlyn, what initially sparked the idea for your business?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that. What I found myself doing in most instances, and I had a product-based company for quite a while, I would find myself talking to other product-based businesses and service-based businesses about their business instead of really working on the sales and the marketing of my own business. And I have over 30 years of experience in both small business and corporate, and I've taken in the C-suite, and I've taken that knowledge and industry knowledge and applied it to not only my own business, but the business of those clients that I serve. And that's what I started to do just organically when I was talking to these other individuals who are in the product and service-based industries, talking to them about different ways to continue the growth of their own business and how to measure that. And that's the key. You really have to set up a good dashboard and metrics in order to see the growth and then make changes where it's just not happening.
Wow. That sounds amazing. It sounds as if you know exactly what you're doing, which is wonderful for me to know. So Carlyn, who are your typical clients?
My clients are both service and product based, and they range from startup phase right out of the gates, getting really organized is really critical, to over several $1,000,000. So what I've seen my clients, and I'm just doing a lot of my client reviews right now, matter of fact, from the previous year, and we're looking at and measuring and looking at their growth and where they grew and where they just remained flat, and how can we tweak those things moving into 2023. So it's an exciting time for me because it's really results oriented, and all of these meetings are very results oriented, which I enjoy the most.
Beautiful. And what is your promise to your clients?
My promise is that you will absolutely have a playbook that you can draw from, where we ground you, set your goals, and you'll grow. And I really want you to not only start your business, but to me, it's even more important to stay in business. What I have found is we're all excited to get out there and start our business, and that's great. And the amount of individuals dropping in and moving from corporate to entrepreneurship is wonderful. And it's really hard work, by the way. So don't sell yourself short if there are days where it is hard work. But what I really, really want you to do is stay in business, and that's critical. So my promise is to really help you stay in business and see the growth and continue with your passion and make it something that you can wake up and get excited about every day.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Carlyn, because if you're mission driven and passion driven, you've got to be motivated. And I love that you say it's not easy. Sometimes it's tough, sometimes it's really hard, but we grow with the challenges. So this is not necessarily a bed of roses, but it's challenging and it's fun, right?
Exactly. And it becomes your legacy, which is
Yes,
really
exactly.
wonderful to think through.
So my next question is, do you have a process that you work through with your clients that leads them to success?
I do. As I mentioned, I have the ground goal grow process that we really step into, and I address the key the key areas, and those are four areas: financial, marketing, management, and technology. And I find if you get grounded in those key areas, it's really going to help you in the long term. I had a client, one of my client success stories that I'll jump to was a client who I've been working with for a couple years now, and she has literally doubled her sales year over year at this point. Matter of fact, this year will be one of her biggest years ever. So it's very exciting for us, and I'm really enjoying doing her year-end review right now. So yes, it is, and it's in the apparel space, which is very, very challenging and saturated. And it's wonderful to see the work that she's put into it, and the fact that she can work on her business while I work in her business to really help her get the foundation to be able to continue her growth.
Wow, that sounds amazing. That is really fulfilling when you see your client making that much success, and that's because of you and your
And they get to
strategy.
tell their story, and they get to be the ones that say, yes, I have a business, and they stand up taller and they have that confidence to be that person and visible as the face of the business. So it's fabulous, and nothing excites me more to see that success for them.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Carlyn, how do people contact you?
Yes, very easily. CarlynBushmanConsulting.com. All my social profiles are Carlyn Bushman Consulting. So you can reach me, and all of that will be in the notes below the video, but feel free to reach me out or reach out to me anytime. I do free discovery calls, so I'm happy to just jump on a call with you at any point in time and follow Katarina's wonderful entrepreneur blueprint, which I think will be fabulous. So as we work together, this will really become seamless to any of you who are watching this today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Carlyn. It's really a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Katarina. It's just been a pleasure talking with you today, and I look forward to the upcoming year.
Me too.